Krishna. Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Bhakta-vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Haribal, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribal. Om Vishnupad Paramam Suparivrajakajarya Stotara Shata Nitya Leela Pravishta His Divine Grace Abhay Shanaravindra Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nasta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatim Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavate Naistiki. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, Text 28, Queen Kunti Prayers. I remember the first look of the prayer. I was asked to do this service. It's a very there are two kinds of prayers. One we hear in the court. If you go to the court, Supreme Court. So I was going to the court because of ISKON cases. So the judge used to ask, what is your prayer? The plaintiff. So what is your prayer? So it is always, oh my Lord, this is my prayer. So you can see the rule of law or Manu law, everything, it's coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when we go to the court, we cannot sit the way you want. Many times we put our feet this one over the other. They would come and ask us. So a court is a temple where there are lordships, and here is the lordships. And there also they called as lordships. The place where justice is delivered. But the justice delivered there is based on two people coming and telling, they are giving their representation and he decides. But here justice is delivered based on the Shastra, based on the rule of our literatures. So a judge there only makes sure that whatever proof is given by the one side and the other side, he brings it together and sees what is there. So he has no other individual decision to give. He has to give based on that. So when he was delivering that judgment, two judgments came, one in the lower court, the civil magistrate court, where we lost the case. Then it got moved to the high court, where we won the case. So you could see in the material world how perception keeps changing from one person to another person. But parampara is not like that. Parampara, the Guru Parampara or the Shastra Parampara, they are not changed. Justice is based on what Lord wants, how it is. Dharma, what it says. However right you are, however you bribe, whatever you do, but justice delivered will be based on the Shastra. So when justice was delivered, sometimes it is very severe. In case of Hiranyakashipu, where it's between the son and the father. And what the result of that was, he was to be killed right in front of the son. All right, my dear Lord, take him to one side. I don't want to see, close eyes, nothing. Very clear that it happened right in the front, and afterwards Prahlad Maharaj starts glorifying Supreme Lord. This is a prayer. So till we see this material world through the Shastra Praman or through Guru, same mistakes will be making. You have to digest as much as possible. Start seeing this world through this eyes of Gnana Chakshu, then very less chances of making mistakes. And this is what Prabhupada gave us, that gift of seeing this world. The same world, he is also saying, I am also saying, you're also saying. But conclusion is different. Somebody says the same world, he says is mine. Somebody says is my father's. Somebody says my guru's. Somebody says is my country's. So many things are there. But according to Shastra, what he says? Krishna is the supreme. Prabhupada says everything belongs to Krishna. So how much of this kind of relation we perceive in day-to-day life? It's not certainly very sensitive. Not every time what we think belongs to Krishna, right? But it's a process. But the acharyas are not like that. Prabhupada, the moment he started this movement, he said, everything belongs to my guru. Everything, it was with him, he could do anything he wants. So this is that perception, just we have to certainly qualify like that. So prayer is nothing but that what is that you want from Krishna? When you come here, what is that you want? So every day you're reading Srimad Bhagavatam is nothing but a prayer. It's nothing but a prayer which is reaching to the heart, that what is there in the desire. Some devotee says, I want to do this. Some devotee says, what you want me to do. So many things are there. So prayers in Krishna consciousness is nothing but service seeking by the Lord or by Guru. That's the only thing. The more you pray, you ask for service. Give me service. Because 24 hours of engagement in Krishna consciousness is the only prayer we should have, nothing else. Because when we work for Krishna, that means everything belongs to him. You don't have to worry at all. Because the actual reality is, the prayer is making you understand nothing belongs to you. The case in the court, it depends on him. He takes a decision. So the fact of the matter is, for all of us, is the earlier we decide this fact is everything belongs to Krishna, and my Guru Maharaj just come, he's given this instruction I have to follow. The faster we go in that direction, the faster we realize Because even though your possession of so much properties in this world, if it is yours, why do you pay taxes? Why do you pay so many things? That means it doesn't belong to you. Why do you register? So even though we realize all these things through the especially devotees, but still this illusion doesn't go. This is mine. It comes. But the same house, when you become old, they'll throw you out. However great you are, however you say, this my name is there. You can't see your name. I can see better. Then he'll strike it and put his name. This is a reality. Today, how many children have not fought the property of their fathers? This is Kali Yuga. So, Prabhupada's mercy, we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam. We are going in this process. Don't make this mistake. Don't ever get into this kind of litigation. So for that, we require prayers. Krishna, deliver me as fast as possible. I want to get out. And how he will deliver, the faster we start reciprocating in service. Because our relationship with Krishna will mature more and more we serve. There's nothing else. Whether sadhu, shastra, guru, these instructions, the more you start serving this movement, when you go through that, Prabhupada also comments on this, gives a beautiful class in Los Angeles on the same sloka. So he is emphasizing the fact of this ISKCON movement. The person who comes to this movement, what is his duty? He emphasizes on that. So we are no exemptions. You can't say, still I'm not in Krishna consciousness. No, I'm not in ISKCON. At least people who have taken initiation in the Guru Parampara, how can they think like that? So the more we understand this process of it's not mine, it's not mine. When a small child comes and tells, Papa, give me this. What? Why one? I'll give two. Take three. Because relationship is there. Same thing if neighbor's kid come. No, it's not possible. Go to your parents. But if you see from Krishna conscious viewpoint, that kid in the neighbor's house and the kid in your house is also same. It's equal. Even though you may not give whatever it is, but at least you can have kind words. We may have certain limitations. So Krishna conscious is no joke. Krishna conscious is all about what Krishna wants. And to what Krishna wants, to do that, Acharya required. And when Acharya speaks and he practices what, it becomes easier for us. Because Antyakale is our examination, that what we have carrying in our heart, that heart which is transmitting what Krishna has given, that will only come with us. Nothing else will come. The earlier we are making progress in Krishna consciousness, everything is there. We are custodian. Remember that. I'll not come and claim yours because it's your custody. So Krishna has given you the Krishna. We've been praying many times for different things, even Krishna consciousness. To get a land, to get money, to get devotees. We have been praying. Many things Krishna fulfills immediately. But one strange thing has happened. Thousands of devotees are praying that our Hare Krishna land should come to us, but it does not come. So, unless Lord sanctions it, he has something there. Maybe more purification required. Everything knows, if you go to the court, you see everything's fine. Everyday prayer. We used to have one devotee of Prabhupada came to Jagannath Mandir. He says, you do Vamana Puja. He says he got a Vamana deity and he told us every day, you believe it or not, for 3 years, he told me it's about 4 slokas. He told everybody, every day you should chant. I chanted 4 years, but nothing happened. More than 4 years, 14 years now. So prayers are there, but Krishna has his will. We don't know. We know that it's against law. They have taken out. But Krishna is still sanctioning. He is still, the custody is given to them. We are going to the court. So many things are there. They are coming from the same viewpoint. So prayers are there. But the maturity of prayers is in Krishna's hand. It's not in our hands. But there's no harm in praying. Because every small thing, what we do, we have these prayers. Is it not? Whether it's a Ganesh, whether it is Saraswati examination, we are 100% sure. We are very good in everything. But still we go to Saraswati Amma. Please see that I remember everything. Is it not? So anywhere we go, it is that prayers are there and it is legitimate. But when you come to Krishna consciousness, now there is a difference. Our perception changes. What is that we have to pray? Prayers are there, we have to pray. So it is very difficult to understand. That's why these prayers help us. What should we pray? So go with this sloka which says, Manyatvam kalam ishanam anadi nidanam vibhum samam charantam sarvatra bhutanam yan mitha kalaihi. 1:825. Manyatvam kalam ishamanadi nidanam vibhum samam charantam sarvatra bhutanam yan mitha kalaihi. Manyatvam kalam ishanam anadinidanam vibhum samam charantam sarvatra bhutanam yan mitha kalaihi. Mataji's. Manye, I consider Tvam, your Lordship, Kalam, the eternal time, Ishanam, Supreme Lord, Anadinidanam, without beginning and end, Vibhum, all pervading, Samam, equally merciful, Charantam, distributing, Sarvatra, everywhere, Bhutanam, of the living and beings, Yat mitaha, by intercourse, Kalaihi, dissension. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Chanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. My Lord, I consider your Lordship to be eternal time, the supreme controller, without beginning and end, the all-pervasive one. In distributing your mercy, you are equal to everyone. The dissensions, dissensions means disagreement that leads to discord. between living beings are due to social intercourse. The dissensions between living beings are due to social intercourse. Purport. Very interesting purport. At the same time, please mind the words what Prabhupada uses. It's very important for all of us. And how he's talking about Kunti Devi. Kunti Devi knew that Krishna was neither her nephew nor an ordinary family member of her paternal house. She knew perfectly well that Krishna is a primeval Lord who lives in everyone's heart as a super soul. Paramatma. Another name of Paramatma, features of the Lord is Kala, or eternal time. Eternal time is the witness of all our actions, good and bad. Thus, the resultant reactions are destined by him. It is no use saying that we do not know why and for what we are suffering. We may forget the misdeed for which we may suffer at the present moment, but we must remember Paramatma is our constant companion, and therefore he knows everything past, present, and future. And because the Paramatma feature of the Lord destines all actions and reactions, he is the supreme controller also. Without his sanction, not a blade of grass can move. The living beings are given as much freedom as they deserve, and misuse of that freedom is the cause of suffering. The devotees of the Lord do not misuse their freedom, therefore they are good sons of Lord. Others who misuse the freedom are put into miserable destiny by eternal Kala. The Kala offers conditioned souls both happiness and miseries. It is all predestined by eternal time. As we have miseries uncalled for, so we have happiness also without being asked, for they all predestined by Kala. No one is therefore either an enemy or a friend of Lord. Everyone is suffering and enjoying the result of his own destiny. This destiny is made by the living and being course of social intercourse. Everyone here wants to lord it over the material nature, and everyone creates his own destiny under the supervision of the Supreme Lord. He is all pervading, and therefore he can see everyone's activities. And because the Lord has no beginning and end, he knows all the eternal time Kala. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. We'll also discuss about his class in 1974 he gave. So, Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Minitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschapta Deshatarane. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. He wants a chair, can you? Sure. You want a chair? Mukam karoti vachalam pangulangayate girim yat kripatam aham vande Shri Guru Dinadadinam Paramanandam Chaitanya. So to my ignorance of not understanding, so I was going through this purport. Today I could understand. Krishna had many temples to come up. That's why still he has not given the temple back. So it's very clear, no? From here he says, it's all destined. He says, we may forget the misdeed. Therefore, Krishna knows his destines all actions and reactions. He is the supreme controller. So Paramatma features of Lord, living beings are given the freedom as they deserve, and misuse of the freedom is the cause of suffering. So eternal time is a witness for all our actions and good and bad, thus resultant of reactions are destined by him alone. So we don't know what happened at that time. Yes. But nevertheless, here is the confirmation about our own journey in our life, that we do endeavor, we are trying to make progress so many ways. We are trying to get education, we are trying to get good position. But this, many times we understand we are putting application, if you are getting in one company, but we are applying for 4 or 5 companies. That itself shows the uncertainty is there. So the more we understand about the absolute truth, that doesn't mean that we should not try. But this realization should be there. Is that the will of the Lord, how it is, or our previous karma? 2 things are very clear. Either Krishna decides or Paramatma decides. Paramatma who is sitting here, because he will only judge by what actions you have done, what inactions you have done. That is there. So it's very easy to conclude, okay, mera aisa ho gaya. There is nothing like that. It's all destined. So we receive the mercy. Yeah, it had to happen. So we work towards it. Neither when that something happens for you, which is good, you don't have to get puffed up. Or what happens, what had to happen did not happen, but you don't have to blame too. So both the ways, you have an option to go do something better. You have something good, you do better. What something has not happened, but there is an opportunity for you to do better. You cannot help. So in front of us, there's so many people, different people are suffering different ways. Not that the devotees are not suffering. The devotees' families are also suffering. It's there in the Bhagavatam. But we forget that, oh, why should devotees suffer? We always ask this question. I've been chanting 20 years, 25 years. I've been doing all this. It's fine. That is, spiritual body is getting nourished. But this material body, which is carrying by the karmas, that is still there. So that has to go. That will Krishna will take care. So many times we also get bewildered by what happens. Even in spiritual aspects, when we are doing many things, oh, it didn't happen, this it didn't happen. Why Krishna doesn't know I am building his temple? Why he can't be liberal? No, we can think all this. Is it not? For our own purification, we are doing all this, not for him. He is the enjoyer of all. 33 god devatas are there with him. Millions of gopis are there. No, it is for our own purification, to fulfill the desires of our spiritual master we do. So it is necessary for us to go in that direction, whether in part of Krishna consciousness, when we build our own small house, we have our own children, our own family, fine. But Krishna in the center, then there's no harm. But each can stretch as much as we have our bed. Is it not? Our bed is, you try to stretch even Krishna consciousness, you will fall off. So time, place, and circumstances is very, very important for us to make progress. So in particular sloka, this determines the fact that your previous karma, which is there, that is there with you. And at the same time, because Krishna is there, we are practicing, we are able to understand, okay, kuch tasalli ho gaya. No, that is previous. Krishna is not doing all this. So that faith becomes stronger and stronger. You see the next, what happens? Many times you might have applied for a job. You didn't get the job. You're disappointed. But that doesn't stop you from going. The hope is very important in our life. The hope, keeping in the words of this world, whatever it is, something will happen. Not that all will suffer all the time, 24 hours, 365 days. Nothing like that. There is a day, there is night, there is day, something. So happiness comes and goes. But in Krishna consciousness, what happens? This ray of hope is always there with the Shastra. It is always there with the Guru's instructions. Doesn't matter. It doesn't stop. So this whole ray of hope, what is that? That Bhaktivinoda Thakur, a ray of hope. Why acharyas keep coming? This is a ray of hope Krishna is sending. Keep going. My devotees are suffering. please deliver them. They keep coming. In that same way, Srila Prabhupada has come. So that hope, it can be 100% with him. 100%. Not even 1% you doubt, right? We may doubt the people who are around us. Sometimes we may doubt Krishna, but you don't have to doubt your Guru. Because if Guru does, he says something, that will happen. So these two aspects of responsibilities we have in this world. The responsibilities which come with this body, the responsibilities which comes from the spiritual understanding. That is the Atma. But unfortunately in this world, in Kali Yuga, the more emphasis is given to the responsibilities of the body than the responsibility of the Atma. So Kala, as its journey is going on, slowly everything is deteriorating. The Guru is not performing his duty. The parents are not performing their duty. The teachers are not performing their duty. If you look at all this, there is a corruption, or there is a kind of a distortion in their deliveries, in their narration. Everybody is doing, the goal is like something material which is, and they're going in that direction. No direction is towards reality, real happiness. There is thinking of happiness, but that real happiness is not there. Why? Because there is a social injustice done by our superiors, by our elders, not emphasizing on what exactly is required. The government doesn't know what they should do to the public. The public doesn't know how they should contribute to the world. So there is a complete distortion among all this. We can't see this world which just like and go on blaming it. That is why Srila Prabhupada emphasized on why ISKCON is plays this role. It fills up this vacuum there. When you understand Srila Prabhupada's movement, why ISKCON has come, all this can be justified and cleared, and everybody can be corrected. It can be corrected. There is 100% possibility is there, but it has to expand. Prabhupada started in a small way. It's growing bigger and bigger. Why I'm emphasizing all this? Because you're very important. All of us very important for this social justice to be delivered to the society, because you're carrying Bhagavatam in your heart. You're carrying the Guru's instructions in your heart. So when you speak, it matters. It matters, my dear friends. So many people are becoming devotees today. Why they are becoming devotees? Because you're not keeping quiet. Each one of you is preaching in your own capacity. In your own capacity, you're all doing. So this social justice can be, justified by our fulfilling the desires of Srila Prabhupada. So it is necessary for us to understand what Srila Prabhupada says and what he has a desire for this 10,000 years. So you should desire for next 30 years, next 40 years, what do you want to give to this world? It is not what we care for our children. That doesn't stop there. No, we have to care for the neighbor children also. We have to care for this society also, right? So all this matters. If you don't think, who will think? That's why Prabhupada is thinking. That's why his purports are so perfect. If you go through the next purport, what Srila Prabhupada speaks, he emphasizes the justification why this ISKCON movement is coming up. So when you're talking about these two kinds of responsibilities, material responsibilities we do with material understanding, which is justifiable, but still swartha. You can't deliver as much as you have responsibility, but you can't deliver. You can deliver to only a certain extent. Beyond that, you can't then you say, I don't know what to do. All right? So now you have to know where is your limitations. Where you can, flex your muscles. So it is there. You can give good education to your child. Whether she learns or he learns or not in your hands. That doesn't mean, so that responsibility we have to do. There is no doubt about it. Now, whether he carries further or not is not in our hands, but prayers are there. You can pray for anybody. So that freedom Krishna has given, you can pray for anybody. But what kind of prayer it should be based on? Again, if you are looking at material expansions there, they will also suffer the same thing. They'll also go after earning money, positions, and they become self-centered. Krishna consciousness is Krishna-centered. We have to deliver that. So this is this kind of understanding. When we go out of this door from here, what you connect with people makes a lot of differences. Why ISKCON today is making differences everywhere is due to this reason, that the words of a pure devotee, the words he is carrying and giving, is actually registering in people's heart. Say a little distortions there and we misrepresent that, it's very dangerous. So you have to be very, very careful what we are trying to do. That's why even giving a Bhagavatam class, when we are giving, we have to be careful whether we are practicing what we are preaching. Because our own people who are eating, प्रसादम इतने से ये तो खाली बात करता है यार, कुछ नहीं करता है. भागवतम इतना अच्छा खिला देता है. I'm not joking. It's a fact of the matter which I've already made mistakes many times. What's so about? So Bhagavatam is never see who the speaker is. What he delivers is important, because it's coming from Guru Mukha Padma. So you don't have to those words. When he concocts something, then you can easily make out. Because you are also reading, he is also reading, I'm also reading. Everything is coming from the same source. So if he distorts, that's where the Ritvik philosophy failed. Everybody was speaking the same thing about Prabhupada, but somebody says Guru after Prabhupada is not there. You understand? So spiritually also there can be distortion. Some people can fall a prey for that. So when we understand this, that we did not get convinced. So what is that philosophy? No, after Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, no, max 10,000 years, my books are there, my disciples are there. There, he is there. So that means we interpret in the way we want. Now we have to talk about this because we have those kind of centers come, which they'll speak about that. After Prabhupada, recently I came to know, I was talking to one person who came, somebody introduced me, came to my room. He came from Mysore. He came and said that he asked the same questions. I asked, how come you're asking this question? No, I go to that temple also. Very clear. So I was not, bewildered or anything like that. I explained to him what is parampara and things like that. Probably he was pretty concerned, and he said, can I take initiation from Jaipatak Maharaj? So it is that how you communicate. You don't have to put somebody down to raise yourself up. Just talk about good things. You don't have to bother about other things. So Krishna consciousness is all about talk about good of Krishna, nothing else. Talk about our parampara. We don't have to negate anything like that. So everything is there. Prabhupada was succeeded because he was only looking at the pro aspects of what his Guru Maharaj wants. So he says the same sloka. Now, the social responsibilities. Here, Srila Prabhupada, when we read the Bhagavatam, he talks about your spiritual awareness. He brings in that, okay, you are Atma, you are Paramatma. So this Paramatma a factor comes when you take up the Bhagavatam. So what is the difference between the outer world and this world is that just an inclusion. You are not just Atma, there's Paramatma also in you. And Atma, Deha, you are sitting inside. Yantra Rurani Maya. Krishna says you are sitting in this body. So when we study all this is nothing but that kind of understanding so that we start relating with Krishna. Baba, yes, you are sitting in my heart as Paramatma. What can I do? How can I go on? So Prabhupada says that under the supervision of the Supreme Lord, according to the result of his work, the living entity, the soul is made to enter into the womb of a woman through a particular semen to assume a particular type of body. So he is talking from the Bhagavatam aspect, which says Karmana Devanetrena. He is giving this reference when he started this class. So it's very clear. The personality of God under supervision of the Supreme Lord. So body is given by our present parents. To get a type of body is facilitated by Paramatma. And Atma, soul, given by the Lord himself. We have to be careful fulfilling these duties of following the instructions given by our parents with material knowledge. So some parents do give, spiritual knowledge, and there the Lord recommends that we approach a guru in Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is giving instruction to Arjuna. At the same time, he's telling to all of us, well, you approach a spiritual master. So it's all there. Karmana Devanetrana. So Prabhupada is connecting this with that. That is a speciality. So if you look at Bhagavatam, you can sit in a court. He gives you, go on giving you, pramana after pramana. The Lord who is sitting the judge, just like we remember how we won the court in Chicago, I think. And he just took the Bhagavatam books and the court said, oh, no, this is a bona fide movement. Right? By seeing books, a judge could understand. By reading the book, what will happen? A lot of difference. Sincerity matters a lot. So, he gives the guru who gives you the responsibility. Spiritual master who is a pure devotee helps both in how to engage the material life and how to have the spiritual life deal with material life. That is the difference when we go to a spiritual master. And that is what Srila Prabhupada is. Everything is same. He gives you the eyes to see whom it belongs to, and you are the custodian of it, how to use it, and how long you can use it. You see? So, and next, Srila Prabhupada makes an important point. Kunti is an authority. Kunti, twice he says Kunti is an authority. How she has become authority? Because she has followed authorities. Brahma, Narada, Swayambhu, so he's telling like that. The same thing for us. So we are representing this parampara. If Kunti can deliver what the taught by her guru, so what is the difficulty for us? So we have to have the same narration. We have to have the same practice. So Prabhupada is telling Queen Kunti, she is a housewife. She had noble queen. But what happened to her? What position she was in? But she never cried. What difficulty was there? A very interesting fact, this to connect with that when the Lord is about to go, Queen Kunti is doing these prayers, and we are all sitting here. We also have to pray now. Jagannath is expanding to Krishna. What kind of prayers we should have now? You understand? Here Queen Kunti has a prayer where Krishna is about to live. And we all should have a prayer where Jagannath is going to go and Krishna is going to appear as this Vigraha. What is the prayer you should have? The prayer is how I can do better service. Very simple. Because in Kali Yuga, the Murti is Archa Vigraha. Krishna personally manifests as Archa Vigraha. So Srila Prabhupada gave us that Archa Vigraha. Every ISKCON can have the deities. Start serving the deities and see them as non-different from Krishna. That is why we have 6. Now our Swayam Prakash Prabhu is gone to Jaipur. He's looking for cows. Because Krishna without cows, how will we? We forgot to bring cows. So he's gone all the way. 3 months left. He's going to bring the cows. Now, at the same time, our person who has returned to us about 1.5 months back, Shitalanga Prabhu, he said, did you start so many offerings? So we have to add 3 more sweets to their lordships. So he said, you start now itself. So you can see that Krishna is manifesting in such a way that Srila Prabhupada is making us understand, you please serve him better. He is telling and he is there. So the prayers, I was looking at the prayers, what Queen Kunti is, Krishna is going. And we have to pray that Krishna is coming. That's all the difference. Krishna will not go anywhere. So that was Dwapar Yuga. In Kali Yuga, you have a better chance that Krishna comes to your house. Krishna comes to your temple. Krishna comes in your heart. So that is the difference between Dwapar Yuga and Kali Yuga. Literally, if Krishna goes, what will happen? That's why Queen Kunti is praying that if you go, what will happen? My dear Lord, better you give me more problems. But in your case, in our case, we can ask, give me more service so that Krishna stays. Is it not our right? Huh? What do you think? Give us more service, Krishna should not go. He'll go to the neighbor house. So, I mean, you look at this interrelation as such. This is what Prabhupada did. He gave us that choice in Kali Yuga. That's why this Prabhupada always criticized Kali Chelas. He was telling, I think Bhakti is not going to use word Kali Chelas. He says Kali Chelas, you know, how they are going around mesmerizing people. Prabhupada is the only person, you know, real made us understand what exactly is Guru is. Actually, it became a blot in Kali Yuga, the Gurus. Guru means nobody value nowadays. You know, what is Guru? It's something, you know, it's very low level word. What do you think? Yeah, very cheap. Oh, you also have Guru. I have got 4 Gurus. And who are your Gurus? Mean, they will tell Amitabh Bachchan, that Bachchan, this Bachchan, so many things they say. Somebody is there, somebody is wearing a saffron is my Guru. Huh? So many people have got so many concoctions. They may be sincere, they may be innocent, but they don't know the direction. They don't know the values. So that's why we could face the difference between the world of Kali only through Prabhupada's eyes. How many of you feel after coming to ISKCON, your perception has changed of seeing the world? Really, a very good number. So that means the truth. So the hope of, I mean, you know, for this world is there. That means how many? I saw many of you. That means so many people, at least one number to each one should be guaranteed. What do you say? Right? So in this way, and Srila Prabhupada goes further, those who strictly follow the statement of authorities, they are also authority. Just like a lawyer who has studied law very nicely, following the law. That is a lawyer, a good lawyer. A third-class lawyer means one who does not know how to follow it, and he will not follow. A good lawyer in the court who can give reference from the law books. My lord, you refer to such and such a section, such and such a law book. You will find what I am stating, and the judge sees what he sees. Yes, it is. So he says, Mahajana yena gata panta. Queen Kunti is a Mahajana, he says. What did I start in the beginning? So you could see, everything is correlated. So if we misrepresent outside our Acharya, we are doing a great disservice. Even if you don't speak, it's okay. But do something which is contradictory to what we are going, then that is to be, you have to be sensitive there. Yeah, we are all sadhakas. We cannot become pure devotees there. But how much you learn, that much you do. that is important. Otherwise, it's not possible. So Prabhupada is talking about Mahajana Yenagana Pantha. One thing I've seen even among devotees is the better halves, especially women, are not that much respected. I mean, I'm not, please don't take it as an offense. But I've seen among devotees also, when they come and speak, their expectations are very high. Especially, I'm not talking about women. But when men come and speak to me, they think they're, you know, so many things they demand things. This is not actually, it's a cooperation movement, even in Kali Yuga. What do you say? Kali Yuga is, you know, a cooperative movement where husband and wife have to give to each other and go. But in devotee's life, demanding certain things, which is, it's not desirable. It's a cooperation, because especially the women who have done so much to the life, they are representative of mother. That's why here Prabhupada is giving so much importance to Queen Kunti. The amount of trouble they've gone through. As we go further, Prabhupada emphasizes on that fact more emphatically. I'll just go further. Very interesting it is. So now, so Prabhupada says, Kunti Devi is presenting the concept of Krishna consciousness or God consciousness perfectly. presenting samam charatam sarvatra. Krishna, or Supreme Personality of Godhead, is present everywhere, and he is equally merciful in everything. He is seen, just like the sun. Therefore, Prabhupada says, Sammoham sarva bhuteshu. I envy no one, nor I am partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me, he is a devoted in friend, he is in me, and I am also friend in him. So from this you can understand today, whatever experience we have gone through, Krishna has actually blessed us. Don't have an iota of doubt, oh, why I don't have this. Don't ever think of that. Don't ever always look at the people who are down below you. Don't look at people who are below. You will get into problem. If you have a Maruti, look for people, somebody has got a scooter. You will be peaceful. But don't look for some other car. So Krishna consciousness is all about that. You want to be satisfied? That's what karma deva netrena. This has to be written here. Everything what is destined today, what Ekadashi Prasad is coming is destined to you. By chance you go late, prasadam is a destination. You may not have. Very simple, nah? So many times does happen. So we don't have to crib. Yes, some difficulty has come somewhere, so prasadam is over. Especially people who serve. That's why nowadays in ISKON, serving people, we make sure they get first class. I learned this from Gauranga Prabhu long back. He always makes sure prasadam is served to the, when I went to his kitchen in Chaupati, he was telling that our kitchen people, first they'll take prasad first, then only I'll let them go. A long time back. So it's a good idea about, because sometimes we are not that pure enough. Sometimes, oh, ajata rona. So we are trying to make sure that how best the circumstances what we have and adjust in this life. The more we resolve to understand, yes, everything into karma, Krishna, what has given is it's on our plate. Please accept it gracefully. Ambition is okay, doesn't matter. But the ambition becomes too much, then you have problems coming up in life. That's what it is. You can't even be able to digest that. Just like eating more food, you can't digest even richness, even position in life. It comes to you if you cannot tolerate. That's why so many sannyasis, so many exalted people in big positions have suffered. Even big sannyasis, they've gone to very high level. What glorification! But what happened one day? We don't know. They're sitting in jail also. It happens. Whether it is Mayavadi, but if you look at people follow the parampara as such, we don't see them going. There was one Acharya, it is actually coming from the Kanchi Kamakoti Peetam line. I don't want to name that person. There was a time where he was to be arrested. He was the Kanchi Kamakoti Peetam. He was the person, Peedadipati, whatever the reasons are. He had a murder charge. Probably he didn't do it. So many things happened, and now he had to go from that. That is one aspect. The second aspect is the gurus. When the property becomes big, the Madhadipatis are there. Now who will become the next guru? We had in Bhakti Puri Thakur time. So they also got bewilderment. So position, money, women, so many things are there. Bewilders that. So when we go through Guru Mukha Padma, it will not bewilder. A small position, temple commander, can bewilder us. What do you say? So every aspect. So if we take it gracefully, it comes on its own accord. You have nothing to fear. You have nothing to fear. So in this way, one question, Krishna is equal to everyone. One may question, if Krishna is equal to everyone, and no one is special friend, then what does he take? Why does he take special interest among devotees? This is what the question asked. So Srila Prabhupada is asking. He is answering now. He tells the question also, he tells the answer also. But this is not discrimination. It is natural. Any man in this material world may be very charitably disposed, yet he has special interest in his own children. The Lord claims that every living entity, in whatever form he is his son. So he provides everyone with generosity, supply of necessities of life. He is like a cloud, like a rain water. It goes everywhere. Now, this is the conclusion of what we understand, that today whatever is there in our plate is coming from our previous life. So now what we are retaining is the mercy of Guru. It will be, it will complement your future life. If it is karma again, then whatever you have, again it will produce karma. Then again you will have to suffer. But in Krishna consciousness, you transit to the Nishkama karma. Whatever you have, you always related with the Lord. You have nothing to worry. But that custody is there with you. But nevertheless, you're detached from it even if you lose. A dying man, what is you going telling me you got so much property? Are yaar, main mar raha hu. Chod yaar. It's not. So this is the way of Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada actually, he gave us this knowledge to get that strength. This is not some noble thinking where, I know, very simple language. Even he knows, everybody knows, but illusion is something which covers it up. And that illusion, where it comes with Maya. So Maya hai andhakar, Krishna Surya Saman. So Prabhupada gives that example also. It's very, very interesting. So, so here Prabhupada gives the shloka, Ishwaraha Sarva Bhutanam Hridadeshi Arjuna Tishtati. So in this way, the Supreme Lord is there in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, directing the wandering of the living entities who are seated on a machine made of material energy. Who will speak like this? Nobody in the world thinks our artificial intelligence they are talking about, right? But they are not thinking about this beautiful machine who is sitting inside. Huh? Today, so much of talk is going on artificial intelligence. They are creating so much of illusion. I think you will totally become invalid. Human existence can become invalid. But there is land. You can go and till there. Because artificial intelligence cannot do anything with the land. It has to grow, right? Because it will not eat. Only you have to eat. Huh? So it is how much of bewilderment is there in this world. That is important. So, so Prabhupada says that we cannot conceal anything from God. At any other place it is said, just like sun is there, eye of God. So while performing these duties, we come across difficulties, miseries, happiness, sometimes frustration. To overcome these issues, we approach parents, we approach relatives, we approach the government, we go so many places. But what is happening there? They may do it or not. But here, the question is, if you go to the Supreme Lord, then he is Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvalokam Maheshwaram. So this is the place, this is what Srila Prabhupada is talking about. Everything is God. And when you go to him, what you have, you will retain. You have nothing to lose. And even you leave this also, you don't have worry. You have the spiritual body, 400 form or 200 form, whatever it is. You're going back to Godhead. And so this is a very interesting fact from Lord Chaitanya. What was his prayer? His prayer was that from Chaitanya Charitamrita you can see Antya Leela. Ayi nanda tanuja kinkaram patidamam vishame bhavam budau kripaya tava pada pankaja sitiduli sadrasham vichintaya. Now here is a prayer where Lord Chaitanya, Lord Krishna, as Lord Chaitanya is giving us this. You don't have to think something else. You don't have to go search a Webster directory and all that. What you have to pray is giving here. What he is telling is Supreme Lord himself. The Supreme Lord himself is coming as Gauranga Mahaprabhu, a supreme devotee himself, and he is telling Ayi Nanda. So what is the meaning of this? Prabhupada says there, oh my Lord, oh Krishna, oh son of Maharaj Nanda, I'm your eternal servant. And because of my own fruitive acts, I have fallen in this horrible ocean of nuisance. Now please be causeless mercy to me. Consider me as a particle and dust at your lotus feet. So if this is what we want, And if this is what is going to, if you're going to achieve, there's only one that prayer should be, is that every day you come and ask, give me more service. The more you serve Guru Gauranga, the more you will become faster, you will go to the lotus feet of Supreme Lord. There is no other exercise. The more you seek service, the more you serve your spiritual master, the more you serve ISKCON, you have, your destination is 100% Goloka Vrindavan. You don't have to worry. This is what is there. So your prayers, whenever you come, there are some justiciable prayers are there. We ask for our Guru. We ask some material problems are there. We can still pray. There is no problem. But these prayers are always, it will contribute towards better service. So if at all we want to ask something from Krishna, you tell, give us better health, because there's a pollution world, you can't do anything. Even if you sit in an AC place, you get cold, right? So pollution world, what you go, the moment you go outside is carbon. You can't say I'll be in the livelihood unless we go to some places where we have our ISKCON forms, right? There's no, but still we are not ready to go, no? So Kala, Patra and all that. So if we ask for service from Krishna, that please give me service, and that's there, and he's ready to give you service, in 2 months he will expand. A beautiful question here from Chaitanya Charitamrita. He is a Raghupati Upadhyaya in Lord Chaitanya's time. So Lord Chaitanya met him in Mathura once. He asked him, so usually when great extraordinary people meet, they discuss, wonderful things. So Lord Chaitanya asked him, whom do we want to have as our masters? 2 questions he asked him, Mahaprabhu asked him. And who is the final goal of our life? Raghupati Upadhyaya answered, Shrutim apare smitim mitare, bharatam anye bhajanto bhavabhitaha, aham iha nandam vande yasyenda paramam brahma. He says the meaning is like this. Those who fear rebirth in this world may follow the advice of the Vedic scriptures. Others may follow Mahabharata. But as far as me, I follow Nanda Maharaja in the house whose courtyard supreme truth plays like a child. You understood? Shall I repeat it once more? I'll read the meaning. Very interesting. Those who fear the rebirth in this world may follow the advice of the Vedic scriptures. Others may follow Mahabharata. But as far as me, I follow Nanda Maharaja, in whose courtyard the supreme truth plays as a child. There is a difference here. He is not asking for Nanda Krishna. He is asking for Nanda Maharaj. Let me serve Nanda Maharaj, he says. Because Supreme Personality will taken shelter there. You get the point? Same way, ISKCON also should be seen like that. Krishna has taken shelter here. Prabhupada is the owner. Prabhupada represents Nanda Kumar. Yashoda, all what is that? What is that? He is talking that is very, very important. The parents, Devaki, Vasudeva, there Krishna is residing. So here, if you analyze these 2 things, that you can see in ISKCON, we don't talk anything about Krishna, other than Krishna. Especially Kartik Mas, Damodar time, whole world is illuminated, is it not? We go everywhere. So our mood of Krishna consciousness is established by Prabhupada. So our parampara is so perfect, we don't have to worry, just follow what it is. And what is an Acharya talking 520 years back? He's telling the same thing. I want to take, shelter of this. So he continues, he says that in the system of Varnashram Dharma, Vedic social duty, they follow the Vedas. The people in general are on the guidance of Smriti. In this way, they are engaged in bodily duties with color of godliness. Those who are free from physical demands, however, are trying to transcend this enjoyment, exploitation, generally take guidance from Upanishads because they are higher in given guidance. But Raghupati Upadhyay says that I don't care for all this. I feel I need to follow the guidance of my heart. He says, my heart. I'm not so much concerned with the brain. I'm concerned with the real peace, has its connection with the heart. And my heart is always attracted to Nanda Maharaja, who is always serving the Supreme Lord as a child. So let me conclude by telling that this point, it emphasizes the fact that Nanda Maharaja, courtyard, Krishna is resting and playing. And who is playing in ISKON? Every temple of ISKON, we are having Krishna, Radha Krishna, Gaunitai. It's all so much in line, in tune. With this kind of relationship we have, this kind of instructions you have, this kind of facilities what we get. Why can't we take this to this world? But that responsibility lies, don't keep it in the mind, keep it in the heart. That's what he says. I take out the mind. I interact with the heart. Hrida Adi Kavaye. What Krishna spoke, Bhagavatam, to Brahma, Adi Kavaye. Hrida. That means heart is very important. So our brain in Krishna consciousness is not in the head, it is in the heart. If is it wrong to say that? Sabhi kya pyar se baat karta hai, bolta hai. I mean, when they say people talk with love and affection, it comes from the heart. It doesn't come in the mind. Is it not? And when it comes from the heart, it has to be relationship. Without relationship, it cannot come from the heart. It will come from the mind. Because you relate somebody and you act on that. That's what it is here. Such a wonderful conclusion has how Nanda Maharaja attracted the supreme absolute truth. In this regard, 10th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th chapter, 46 verse says, this is also bewildering. That devotee, Parikshit Maharaj, asks that boy, Sukadeva Goswami, Arey, Baba, what are you telling here? Please explain to me. Beautiful sloka it is. It says, Nandam kim akroda brahman shreya evam mahodyam yashoda cha mahabhaga papo yashra sthanam harihi. Translation, having heard the great fortune of Mother Yashoda, Parikshit Maharaj inquired from Sukadeva Goswami, O learned Brahmana, Mother Yashoda's breast milk was sucked by Supreme Personality of Godhead. What past auspicious activity she did that and Nanda Maharaj performed to achieve such a perfection of ecstatic love. See how connection is that. The Bhagavatam, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, what we speak here, everything is correlated. What you require is the heart. What you have to speak, what you have to ask for is that connection, is that kind of prayer which connects these two. So if you are performing Damodar Ashtaka in your house and everybody is coming, it is not different from what is happening in Goloka Vrindavan. Only thing, conscious is different. That is all. But if your consciousness, if you are taking like this and going, what will happen? The next Damodara, Kartik Mas will be in the new temple. I don't know how many people will fit in there. But at least keep your heart. Temple may be small, at least keep your heart big. Because what makes people come here is your heart, not the temple. Keep your heart as open as possible so that every Atma who comes in touch with you, give them shelter. Give them ashraya. Because ashraya was given by somebody gave you, you give them. Because if you keep what given by somebody else, it will not stay with you. Right? 10 rupees you have with you, by the end of the day, the 10 rupees would have gone to 100 people. Our karma is like that. Taka, 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 it keeps changing. Kala also cannot match with our 10 rupees going around the world. How fast it goes to, I think 10 rupees no more available, right? It's 100 rupees. 100 rupees. No, 100 is more. No? Nowadays, 10, even beggar doesn't take. Yeah. So it is important. So conclusion. I'll conclude with this, that Bhagavad Gita, again Srila Prabhupada speaking, Chatur Vidam Bhajante Mam Janno Sukrito Arjuna. So without Sukriti, Prabhupada said, without Sukriti or pious activities, no one can come to the shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord said. So Srila Prabhupada said, I have created your Sukriti. Which Acharya can say like this? Huh? You heard this? I have created. Prabhupada says that. He says, I have created the ladder to climb up to the spiritual world. So, therefore, Parikshit Maharaj naturally inquired, what kind of pious activities did they perform in their past activities? They achieved such a great perfection. Of course, Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda are accepted as father and mother of Krishna. Yet, here Prabhupada makes another point. Mother Yashoda was more fortunate than Nanda Maharaja. Again, Matajis are glorified. Krishna's father, because Nanda Maharaj was sometimes separated from Krishna, whereas Yashoda, Krishna's mother, was never separated from Krishna at any moment. So today, if your house is united, give them the credit. Because they are uniting your family, they are also keeping Krishna in the center. So these two things are very interrelationship. No, I'm not just putting anybody somewhere on top or putting somebody down. But this kala, which is there in the material world, sometimes it appears goes on that direction. So Prabhupada says, that is why Yashoda was closer. Even when Krishna was grown up, he would go to Vrindavan and sit on the lap of Mother Yashoda. Therefore, there is no comparison of fortune of Mother Yashoda, and Parikshit naturally inquired from Yashoda as Mahabhaga. So in conclusion, just 4 prayers of Srila Prabhupada, what he is actually prayed. In actually one past, one chapter, one lecture, some Gaudiya Math Maharaj commented his realization. I don't want to say where it is. He comments in his lecture giving. He says, on an auspicious day, he says that we are enjoying the remnants of Swami Maharaj, he says. Who is that? And that is actually picked up. I'm not superficially glorifying Srila Prabhupada. That Maharaj says in his class, on a Bhagavatam class, he says, we are enjoying the fruits of Swami Maharaj who preach all over the world. In recent times, that's I'm talking about 50 years, 40 years like that. So how he is glorifying the remnants of what Maharaj left. What is a remnant? Nothing but ISKON, no? Today, so many Gaudiya mutts have opened all over the world also. They also have come out. It's not that. But ISKON is, making that. Even today, if many people go to Gaudiya temples, they still think it is ISKON. So there's no confusion. That's why if you go to Hare Krishna, you come here, no problem. It's all the same. Because someone born, you see Krishna there, you see Krishna here. Only when you hear deeply, even superficially you hear, no problem. Only when you hear deeply, they may misguide you. But here it's not like that. Gaudiya, there is no difference. So I was startled by when he says Swami Maharaj. That is that person who gave this class is no more in this world. He is also an extra exalted Matadipati of a Gaudiya Parampara. So he says like that. A spiritual heir, Saraswata, he says that referring to the followers of Bhakti-Dhanbhari Thakur, we are all living the remnants of Swami Maharaj. In this, he was referring to preaching of Srila Prabhupada, he says. So I'll just go and close it. And Prabhupada prayer. So this was a prayer by Prabhupada in lecture 15th, 1971, Gorakhpur. Prabhupada says, devotee does not pray even for his maintenance. That is his pure devotee. He does not give trouble to Krishna even for his bare maintenance. If he has no maintenance, he still suffers, fasting till. He will not ask Krishna, Krishna, I am hungry. Give me some food. Of course, Krishna is alert for his devotee. But devotee's principle is not to place any plan in front of Krishna. Let Krishna do. 1968, Montreal, June 14th. I think it is good to remain financially poor. Mind this, he's talking to the temple people. I think it is good to remain financially poor because always we shall be able to pray Krishna, asking his help to execute his service. I abused this many number of times. Whenever there is no money in temple for construction, I have abused this. Always come here, sit in front of him and tell no money. But Srila Prabhupada says there, look at this, what he says. But I don't know, I want to serve his pure devotee. I take the audacity of telling that I want to serve your pure devotee. That's all I say. No, we are building your temple. We are building for Prabhupada. That is only my consoling. What do you think? Am I wrong? I only say I am asking you money. When I ask money, I know it's not wrong. But I am asking for not for myself. Even though we are enjoying, no doubt. But Prabhupada said you can enjoy with me. So sometimes I do that. So how Prabhupada is talking about his prayer, he say, because many times it happens. We have so many difficulties. Maya may dictate us sense enjoyment. We may fall prey to tactics. Simply our prayer should be, my dear Krishna, in another place, Los Angeles, 1968. I'll end with that. My dear Krishna, please remind me to be always chanting your holy name. Please do not put me into forgetfulness. You are sitting with me as a super soul. So you cannot put me into forgetfulness or remembering you. So please do not at any point of time put me into forgetfulness. How many times he uses the word? Please always remind me to chant, even you send me into hell, it does not matter. Just so long as I can always chant Hare Krishna. 23rd November 1968, Los Angeles. In this regard, I would also like to share these prayers have been a part of my life also. Because as managers or senior devotees, we come across a lot of perplexed situations. We are not able to answer. We get into big problems where we have to solve the problems. We require both of them. Both the parties who come, we pray to Krishna, please, how to solve this problem. I try to please him, he will get angry. Because in devotee, in Vaishnava life, it's something which is especially, even a counselor position is a curse, should be accepted. We should accept the role of a counselor, but the curse is there, but accept it with that pinch of salt. It is not easy whether the parents come, whether, oh, my children are not behaving properly, or whether the teachers come, how to deal with the students, how the brahmacharis come, or what doesn't, how the temple inmates, they have their own problem, how interrelated relationship with each temple has a problem. It is not that we are out of perplexities and anxieties, it's always there. So we have to pray because we don't have all the intelligence to clear up everything. Even if you have, they may not accept. Two devotees come to you and tell, both are intelligent, both are extraordinary service people. But what is that clashing? They have their own egos. No, we can't satisfy anybody's ego. Highly impossible. So we have to pray. It can happen to you, it can happen to me, it can happen to the parents. When they have one child, they don't have a problem. When they have the second child, they have a problem. How can we discriminate between two children? How can a teacher discriminate between their students? It's all same. So in spirituality, it is the highest degree. How we communicate with people. Even one act, what we do, suppose we bring a policy matter, there are many people who will criticize. So this, we have to accept it. So unless we start praying and trying to do, we can't please everybody. Huh? Somebody comes and says salt is more. Today's prasadam. Somebody says put less salt. Somebody says put more salt. We don't know. We have, that way we depend on Krishna's mercy. Somebody says this temple, this is not the way to build. Somebody says, dude, my Shiksha Guru, he was here last recently. He came and gave us some different ideas. And he is my Shiksha Guru, very highly important. If I take his ideas, I have to spend another 1 crore. Now you decide whether I have to take it. So it is, we have, this is a pinch of salt with humility. Yes, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj. That's all it is. So all of you have to understand, you're all growing big. With this kind of instruction, what Prabhupada gives us, life becomes simple. Chalayega yaar, Krishna hai na saath mein. So in this way, we can make our life success. And we will be shortly sending you the details of our developments as much as possible for next 2 to 3 months. And you'll all know where we are sitting, because I can't take all of you everywhere. So we thought we will share our progress report, because the July 9th is almost finalized, and so many things have to be done. So whether it is through devotees, or whether it's financial aspects, or whether it is the construction aspect, everything is going on fine. There is no anxiety. The anxiety is whether we will be able to deliver when the devotees come. Recently, that examination also we have passed with 90%. We had 40 devotees coming from different parts of South India. We took care of them as much as possible. They were here 2 days. They all blessed us and gone. They have even given their remarks. We are going through that. And they're really very happy coming here. So when unfinished temple, if I have to take care of 40 people, but it was order of my Shiksha Guru, he says, Narahari, nothing doing, they'll come and bless you. I didn't want to do this meeting because we were not prepared. But you believe it or not, within 3-4 days, how we established, talked to my all fellow people, says it came out so fantastic. Those devotees who came, what a temple it is. Even though unfinished, if they say like that, what happens when it is finished? And what will happen when your hearts are also like that? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Thank you very much. Today is Ekadashi. I took that little liberty of sharing a little more. And I always have an agenda, my personal agenda. That always comes out. Hare Krishna. I hope that personal agenda should not be different from what ISKCON agenda is, or that you have to justify, or Prabhupada agenda. Any comments or any reflections?
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for this wonderful class. One paradigm that you have given to today. We're thinking that we're serving Krishna, but you have given a new direction by quoting Raghupati Upadhyay, by serving Jashoda Maiya. This is what very wonderful paradigm that you have given. Thank you for that. Prabhu, I got a question here. You've quoted 2 things. One is Kunti Maharani, and second is the Ishvara Sarva Bhutana. While connecting with each other, I got some doubts. One doubt is Kunti Maharani knew very well that Krishna is everywhere. His omnipresence, and she already seen while giving the blessings to Draupadi in a very in this subtle form, and also she knew that Krishna is providing all the service to her and her family without being present there. And why she's getting the mood of separation? What is the mood of separation in the physical form? Krishna is moving away from Hastinapur to Dwarka. She's moving, she's apprehensive that Krishna will be going away physically. But she very well knew in the very core of the heart that Krishna is everywhere. So what could be the mood of that?
Very interesting question. Well, I may be wrong. I may not be in the whatever I share my thoughts may not be 100% correct. To my understanding, what Kunti felt that Krishna is going is that she had already tasted Krishna's personal presence there. So there was intimacy as a Paramatma in the heart, also intimacy as his nephew, her nephew is there. So that separation was the thing which she felt, the separation. Generally, even in this world, we are here today. When Prabhupada was personally present with his disciples, the mood was different. When Prabhupada would go to another temple, the mood was different. Prabhupada's consciousness was there. It's always there. So it is that personal thing which matters a lot for anybody, even this world also. It matters a lot. When with devotees also, when we are so close to each other, when we separate out in a different way, even though he is there in serving somewhere else, but still we are losing the that vapu. So thank you very much. That vapu word, that the personal association of Krishna was, she was missing it out. So that mattered to her. That is why she said, give us more problems so that you be there. See, they are always, people are very realized in their spiritual understanding. At the same time, when in what body they are in, but they behave according to that. They will be, she is a perfect acharya. Prabhupada says that we should follow her 100%. But she is not coming in the parampara. So you have to go by that understanding, is that how they are discriminating things and making us understand how they are connected to Krishna. Whether you're a spiritual master or not, the thought process of what she's thinking about Krishna is important for us. That's what it is. If somebody can add, you want to add some?
Thank you very much.
Anybody else? Oh. Prabhupada compares three people: Kunti, Devaki, and Yashoda.
Yashoda's love is more intimate than Devaki's love. Devaki's love is more intimate than Kunti's love. Kunti's love is more in reverence, he says.
Brahmana.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I also heard that, we can ask for a good health so that we can serve nicely. So is that service is the only thing, or we can also ask?
I did say that, okay, for asking for good health.
Okay.
Because then only we can do better service now. Yes. Any from this side?
Hare Krishna. Anyone?
She wants, sir? You want? You want the mic? Okay.
Not a question, really, just a comment. I really liked the way you said that how we should perceive. So prayers are there, we should certainly pray. But after that, what happens, we should also accept that as Krishna's will. Like you connected that how we are praying, not 4 years, 14 years, but yet they're there. And that's also happening by Krishna's sanction. So if Krishna is sanctioning, there has to be something. And you said that that's an excuse how we can, have many, many more temples all over. So that was a very nice realization. And as Prabhuji said, like you said, just like Raghupati Acharya, he is praying for, Nanda Maharaj, in whose courtyard Krishna is dancing. And then you gave, now our perspective of ISKON has changed. Krishna is dancing in the courtyard of ISKON. So we have to give our lives. Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving this perception.
Rantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, for a wonderful class. I really liked the way you emphasized the relationship, that too keeping Srila Prabhupada in the center. Thank you, Prabhu. So let's thank His Grace Narahari Chaitanya Prabhu for his wonderful class by chanting once Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna. Is any newcomer first time coming to the temple today? Can you raise your hands? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hare Krishna. So let's welcome them all, chanting once Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. So we have sponsors today. His Grace Purushottam Prabhu sponsoring today's prasadam on account of his father's tithi. Purushottam Prabhu, Hare Krishna, can we request you to come forward? And also Chaitanya Prabhu is sponsoring today. Both can. Chaitanya Prabhu, come. Very good. Come front. Sit. Avariyalle good later. Okay. Few other announcement. Upcoming festivals. Siddha Ganga. Okay, sorry. Purushottam Prabhu's father's name is Sri Siddha Gangaya. So his father's tithi today. So let's pray his father today by chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Upcoming festival on May 4th, Narasimha Chaturdashi. So we would have seen the message from our communication team. We have a special yajna, Sudarshana, Narasimha Sudarshana Mahayajna, happening on May 4th, afternoon onwards, maybe around 2 o'clock onwards. So those who want to participate in the seva can contact the accounts or any one of us. So the yajna is happening. So those who want to participate in the yajna can contact us. And also June 11th, we are celebrating Panihatti festival as usual every year. So we're all going to Srirangapatna, where Kaveri Sangam is there. So let's all plan ourselves. Let's keep our days booked for Panihatti festival. Hare Krishna. And as usual, every Sunday evening, we have a Gitamrita class happening. Sunday 5:30 to 7:30, followed by Gaurarati and Prasadam. Prati Adityavara Sanjay 5:30 ಇಂದ 7:30 ಗೀತಾಮೃತ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನಡೀತದೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮತ್ತು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಯಾರನ್ನು ಬಂದ್ರು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ಬೋದು. Anything else? Okay, so we'll continue with the Jagannatha Ashtakam now, and after that Prasadam. One more point we forgot to announce. Today there is a little water problem. Our motor is not working. We got the tanker. Please use water judiciously. Hare Krishna.